Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 isn't just another season. It's a complete reset. The friendships you thought were solid, broken. The couples you thought would last forever, hanging by a thread. And the rivalries. They've exploded into full-blown wars. From Jock and Kendra's Puerto Rico disaster to Rasheeda and Kirk being dragged into another cheating scandal. To Yandy and Mendeecees reaching their breaking point. Nothing is the same anymore. VH1 didn't just give us drama. They gave us chaos on steroids. This isn't the Atlanta you remember. It's bigger, darker, and messier than ever before. And the way fans, blogs, and even celebrities are reacting proves one thing. The show has officially changed the game. But what caused the shift? Who's still standing? And who might not survive Season 13? Let's break it all down because everything you thought you knew has just been shattered. Yo, what's good, fam? Let me tell you something. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 isn't just another messy season. Nah, this is the season that flipped the whole franchise upside down. The alliances we thought were locked in, gone. The couples we thought were unbreakable, hanging on by a thread. And the rivalries. They've gone nuclear. I'm talking bombs dropping every episode. Betrayals spilling like cocktails at a Puerto Rico pool party. And producers low-key looking like geniuses because this ain't love and hip-hop anymore. This is survival of the SHADIEST. Now, here's the thing to really understand how Season 13 got this insane. We gotta rewind the tape. Let's go back to the foundations, the history. The scars these cast members carry that make every argument, every slap, and every tear feel 10 times heavier. Because Season 13 is not happening in a vacuum, it's years of grudges. Old wounds and unfinished business colliding like a car crash we can't stop watching. Take Kirk, Frost, and Rasheeda, for example. This couple has been the backbone of LHHATL drama since day one. Kirk built his entire TV career out of cheating scandals, and Rasheeda built hers out of trying not to walk away. From side babies to secret apartments, Kirk never learned. And Rasheeda never stopped forgiving or cashing those VH1 checks. But this season, Kirk's name came up again with whispers about late-night link-ups. And Rasheeda reached her breaking point in front of the cameras. Instead of quietly swallowing it like old seasons, she exploded. And it wasn't just aimed at Kirk. She turned her rage on Yandy, and that's where the whole show flipped. But wait, let's not forget Yandy and Mendeecees. These two came to Atlanta to bring a little Harlem spice into the mix. But what we got was pure chaos. Yandy has always had that boss chick, unbothered queen vibe. But when Kendra came swinging, literally, it cracked her whole armor. We saw a different Yandy, one that wasn't just managing Mendeecees' freedom and business moves. This Yandy was dodging hands, clapping back, and throwing subliminals on IG stories that had the whole cast shook. And Kendra proved she wasn't here to play nice. If Season 12 had her in Jock's shadow, Season 13 put her front and center as a fireball ready to ignite at any moment. Her beef with Yandy wasn't just petty shade, it was personal, emotional, and explosive. By the time that fight popped off, fans weren't asking what happened. They were asking what's left standing. Then you've got Jock, trying to play the jokester but finding himself in one of the darkest storylines of his career. Puerto Rico was supposed to be vibes, sun, peace, reconciliation, but instead, it turned into a battleground where Jock accused Kirk of crossing the worst line possible, messing with Kendra. Think about that. Two men who called each other brothers, who built years of loyalty and laughs, standing on a beach in Puerto Rico, tearing each other apart over betrayal. And once Jock dropped that bomb, there was no going back. Let's also talk about Spice, because Sis came back from her near-death health scare ready to reclaim her throne. But instead of basking in love and support, she walked into an Atlanta that was divided, hostile, and bursting with jealousy. Her concerts turned into battlegrounds for shade. Her friendships fractured under the weight of who's really loyal and who's just clout chasing. Season 13 made it clear. Spice isn't just fighting for music. She's fighting for respect. And don't sleep on Sierra, Erica Mena, and Bambi. Because even though some of them stepped back, their names stayed hot in the streets. Every time a fight broke out, every time IG lit up with subliminals, their names were tagged, their old drama dragged back up. And their presence haunted the season like ghosts that never left. Now, here's the kicker. This isn't just cast member versus cast member. Season 13 has a new energy. It's the cast versus the show itself. Producers have been accused of pushing too hard, stirring too much, and exploiting too many real-life wounds. The Puerto Rico trip was supposed to heal, but fans swear it was engineered to break. And when Jock, Kendra, Kirk, and Rasheeda started unraveling on camera, you could practically see the producers smiling behind those expensive shades. The fans, though, they weren't just watching. They were investigating, screenshotting, tweeting, TikToking, and turning every rumor into a trending hashtag. From hashtag KendraGate to hashtag RASHEEDAVs, Yandy, the internet became the unofficial reunion stage. And the cast couldn't escape the smoke. So yeah, Season 13 isn't just another chapter. It's the season that redefined love and hip-hop Atlanta forever. The couples we thought would last are hanging by a thread. The friendships we thought were unbreakable are shattered. And the cast members we thought were untouchable, they're catching strays left and right. This isn't just drama anymore, it's survival. And trust me, by the time this season wraps, not everybody's gonna make it out clean now, fam. Let's talk about the first real earthquake that shook. Season 13, the conflict that took the show from typical messy to reality TV apocalypse. And no surprise here. It all starts with a name we've heard way too many times in the same sentence as cheating. Kirk Frost. You would think after a decade of public scandals, DNA tests, side baby plots, and more apologies than a Drake album, Kirk would finally learn his lesson. But nah, Season 13 reminded us that Kirk's middle name might as well be infidelity. The whispers started small late-night texts, suspicious business meetings, shady trips with no receipts, but by the time the cast touched down in Puerto Rico, the rumors exploded like fireworks. And here's where it gets wild. Jock, who's supposed to be Kirk's brother-in-arms, day one friend, straight up dropped the nuclear bomb, accusing Kirk of crossing the ultimate line with Kendra. Imagine this. Jock sitting at the table, eyes blazing, voice shaking, surrounded by cameras, drinks, and a whole cast waiting to see what happens next. And instead of shading Kirk for old drama, Jock stares him down and says, "You spent the night with my wife." Mic drop. Explosion. End of piece. Puerto Rico went from paradise to courtroom in 0.2 seconds. The vibe was gone. The trip was over. And Kirk, man, he froze. The look on his face said it all. That awkward mix of fake outrage and, oh damn, I might actually be guilty. The group sat in stunned silence. Because here's the thing. With Kirk's reputation, you didn't even need proof. Half the people watching at home were like, well, it is Kirk. So the man's track record speaks louder than any denial. But let's pause. Because Jock didn't just pull this accusation out of thin air. Word on the street says he had receipts. Alleged late-night messages, blurry screenshots of pull-up. Don't tell nobody texts. Even sightings of Kirk and Kendra looking way too cozy at events. And when Jock pressed him, Kirk did what he always does, laugh. That nervous, fake chuckle every guilty man uses when he doesn't have a real answer. The twist. This wasn't just about Jock versus Kirk. The moment Kendra's name came up, Rasheeda's whole world shattered. This woman has already been dragged through years of humiliation thanks to Kirk. She's forgiven, stayed, defended him when no one else would. But now, hearing Jock suggest her husband might have been creeping with his own wife's friend, that wasn't just messy, that was humiliating on a whole new level. Rasheeda exploded. Instead of sitting quietly like she used to, she went off on Yandy. That's right. Instead of fully blaming Kirk, she redirected her fury at Yandy, accusing her of stirring the pot, of whispering behind the scenes, of playing puppet master in this whole mess. And when I tell you the slap Rasheeda landed on Yandy's face shook the entire show. I mean, it literally shattered the season. The cameras caught it. The sound echoed. The cast gasped. Twitter exploded. Rasheeda slapped Yandy live on TV. And in that moment, season 13 wasn't just drama anymore. It was history. But let's not forget Kendra. Because instead of stepping back, apologizing, or clarifying, Sis doubled down. She turned all her rage on Yandy too, lunging across tables, throwing accusations, screaming about loyalty and betrayal. It turned into a full-on WWE brawl. Wigs almost flew. Security had to step in. And producers were grinning ear to ear behind the cameras. This was the first twist. What started as whispers about Kirk cheating turned into an all-out war between Rasheeda, Yandy, and Kendra, with Jock and Kirk caught in the crossfire. Friendships shattered. Alliances shifted. And the audience. We were hooked like never before. We were hooked like never before. And yo, the internet didn't just watch, they turned into investigators. Memes of Kirk looking guilty in 240p went viral. Fans edited the confrontation with WWE commentary. Oh my God, she's broken in half. Twitter threads dissected Kendra's every move. IG stories lit up with subliminals. And YouTube was flooded with what really happened in Puerto Rico breakdowns. Even celebs got in on it. Fake tweets started circulating, Cardi B allegedly saying, "Kirk Frost stay embarrassing Rasheeda." Couldn't be me though. Whether she said it or not, fans ate it up. Social media crowned Rasheeda the slap queen, Yandy the shady survivor, and Kendra the too-pressed attacker, and poor Jock. He became the meme of the man who brought the smoke but ended up in a hurricane. Here's the thing though. According to whispers, this wasn't just reality TV drama, this was real-life fallout. Sources claim Jock and Kendra's marriage hit a serious breaking point behind the scenes. Allegedly, Jock confronted her privately after the camera stopped rolling, demanding answers. And Kendra swore nothing happened. But her hesitation, her silence, the little cracks in her story, Jock wasn't buying it. The paranoia was real. Meanwhile, Kirk tried the classic PR move, denial. He told anyone who would listen that Jock was insecure, that Kendra was loyal, that the streets were lying. But Kirk's problem is simple. His past won't let him off the hook. He can cry innocent all day, but when your name is Kirk Frost, the audience doesn't believe you. And that's what made this first twist so powerful. It wasn't just one fight. It was years of broken trust, lies, and old scars colliding in Puerto Rico. And once that slap landed, once Jock's words hung in the air, once the memes started rolling, there was no turning back. So now the big question isn't just, did Kirk cheat again? It's who's left standing? Because Jock and Kirk's friendship is shattered. Rasheeda's patience is gone. Yandy's image is cracked. And Kendra. She's trending, but for all the wrong reasons. And fam, that's just the first twist. Because if you thought this was the peak, oh no, the next escalation makes this look like child's play. If you thought Jock's, bombshell accusation and Rasheeda's slap were the peak of the madness, oh no, buckle up, because season 13 wasn't done. The fight in Puerto Rico wasn't just a moment of chaos. It was the match that lit a fuse. And the explosion carried through the rest of the season like a wildfire nobody could contain. The fallout began instantly. Jock stormed off after the confrontation, but producers weren't letting that tension go. Within days, leaks started hitting the blog's alleged text messages, blurred screenshots, and even whispers of a hotel surveillance video that supposedly showed Kirk and Kendra together during a business trip. Nobody could confirm if it was real, but the internet didn't care. It spread like wildfire. #KendraGate trended for 3 straight days. And fans were dissecting every blurry still image like it was the Zapruder film. But here's where the escalation hit shocking new heights. Jock wasn't the only one questioning loyalty. Rasheeda, finally fed up, turned her fury directly on Kirk. In one of the season's most raw, unfiltered scenes, she told him point blank, "If this is true, we're done. I'm not doing another decade of humiliation." And for the first time, Kirk didn't just roll his eyes or laugh it off. He froze. That silence, that pause, it told fans everything. You could see Rasheeda's face break in real time, and social media went into overdrive. Memes of her packing imaginary bags, hashtags like #free, RASHEED, #divorce_Kirk, and even #slap-him-next filled Twitter. Fans weren't just entertained, they were invested. Meanwhile, Yandy wasn't staying quiet either. She went live on Instagram, calling out Rasheeda for letting her anger land in the wrong place. She claimed she wasn't the one stirring the pot. She was the one trying to stop the fight. But fans weren't buying it. Comment sections lit up with people accusing Yandy of always inserting herself into drama she couldn't control. The live ended with Yandy in tears, saying, "Y'all don't know what I go through," which only made the conspiracy theories wilder. And then came the shocking reveal that flipped everything. A blogger known for dropping exclusive tea, let's call her the Atlanta Shade Queen, posted what she claimed was leaked footage from the Puerto Rico villa's security cameras. The clip was grainy, but it allegedly showed Kirk and Kendra slipping out of the villa late at night. Fans immediately went into detective mode. Some swore it was proof. Others said it could have been anyone. But the damage? Done. Suddenly, Jock's accusations didn't look like paranoia. They looked like a man who finally had enough evidence to go public. Jock doubled down, posting subliminal stories with captions like, "Loyalty don't mean the same to everybody, and you can't call yourself my brother, K, and then play me dirty." He didn't say names, but everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. And the twist didn't stop there. Producers allegedly brought Jock and Kirk together for a sit-down in Atlanta to hash things out. And it turned into one of the ugliest confrontations in love and hip-hop history. Jock demanded Kirk admit the truth, while Kirk deflected with the same tired excuses. "You really gonna believe the streets over me?" But this time, Jock had backup. Insiders say he pulled out printed screenshots of the alleged tea. "If you're alleged," texts right there on camera, and slammed them on the table. The room went silent. Kirk tried to laugh it off, but even production couldn't hide the tension. The scene was so raw, so explosive, that fans are already calling it the table slam heard around Atlanta. But what really shocked viewers was Kendra's response. Instead of denying, instead of fighting for her marriage, she broke down crying and said, "Y'all don't know everything. There's things that happen that I can't talk about on camera." Boom. That single line was enough to send the internet into meltdown. What did she mean? Was she admitting? Was she protecting Kirk? Or was there another secret, even darker, waiting to be exposed? Blogs ran wild with theories. Some claimed Kendra and Kirk had a full-on affair. Others said producers were sitting on unreleased footage to drop during the reunion. And a few conspiracies even suggested Jock already knew the truth months earlier, but saved it for the cameras. And just when fans thought it couldn't escalate further, rumors broke that lawyers had gotten involved. Allegedly, VH1's legal team stepped in because Kirk threatened to sue production for defamation if they aired certain footage. Jock allegedly consulted a divorce lawyer after Kendra's breakdown. And whispers said Rasheeda herself had started quietly moving money into accounts only she controlled, just in case. That's the thing about love and hip-hop. The line between storyline and real life blurs until you can't tell the difference. Was this a plot for ratings, or was it real betrayal caught on camera? Fans didn't care. They were hooked, rewatching scenes, pausing frames, comparing notes like amateur FBI agents. The shocking reveal wasn't just that Kirk might have betrayed Jock with Kendra. The shocking reveal was how quickly it shattered every alliance in the cast. Jock versus Kirk, Rasheeda versus Yandy, Kendra versus her own marriage, and the producers. Oh, they were winning because the internet couldn't stop talking. And fam, this was only the middle of the season. The escalation had fans begging for answers. But the biggest bombshell, the one that nobody saw coming, was still waiting in the wings. Because as messy as the cheating allegations were, the final twist dragged in people we never expected. Exposed secrets deeper than anyone imagined. and left Love and Hip Hop Atlanta changed forever. The Puerto Rico explosion might have happened on screen, but the real firestorm erupted off screen. Once those episodes hit VH1 and leaked clips started circling online, the public and industry response went into overdrive. This wasn't just a messy cast fight anymore. It became a cultural conversation, a trending spectacle that had fans, celebrities, bloggers, and even execs scrambling to pick a side. First, let's talk social media. Twitter X was the front line of the chaos. The night the slap aired, hashtag RASHEEDA slap, hashtag KendraGate, and hashtag Kirk done for trended globally within minutes. One viral post showed Rasheeda mid-swing with the caption, "She didn't just slap Yandy. She slapped the ratings through the roof." Another fan posted a freeze frame of Jock screaming at Kirk, edited with WWE commentary. "Oh my God, he's broken him in half." Fans weren't just watching, they were remixing, analyzing, and keeping the drama alive long after the episode ended. Then came Instagram Lives. Yandy tried to do damage control, going live to explain she wasn't the villain people painted her as. But instead of support, the comment section turned into a battlefield. "Sis, you always in the middle of somebody's marriage," one user wrote. While another fired, "You should have ducked that slap instead of crying." Yandy logged off in tears, and that clip of her face became another meme. Kendra, on the other hand, stayed quiet. That silence only made things worse. Her IG comments flooded with snake emojis, people begging her to admit the truth and fans accusing her of hiding. One shady blog even reported that she restricted comments altogether after a flood of alleged receipts started circulating in fan pages. But it wasn't just the fans talking. Celebs got involved. Cardi B allegedly tweeted, "Kirk Frost's been cheating since Obama's first term." Jock knew what time it was. Whether real or fake, the post went viral. 50 Cent slid into the mix with a petty IG post, uploading a meme of Kirk with the caption, "This man couldn't be faithful in church. Tamar Braxton, who wasn't even involved in this storyline, dropped a cryptic post." Sometimes silence speaks louder than lies, fueling speculation that she knew something behind the scenes. The industry response was just as juicy. Entertainment blogs had a field day. Headlines splashed everywhere. Puerto Rico punch, Rasheeda's slap breaks the internet. KendraGate, did Kirk really cross the line with Jock's wife? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, VH1's ratings jackpot or cast's breaking point. YouTubers pumped out breakdowns faster than fans could watch the show. Reaction videos racked up millions of views. One blogger dramatically paused every frame of the alleged hotel footage, zooming in on blurry silhouettes like it was the Zapruder film, claiming, "That's Kirk's head shape. Y'all can't tell me otherwise." And here's the kicker. VH1 execs were loving it. According to whispers from insider blogs, the Puerto Rico episodes gave season 13 its highest ratings in years. Advertisers wanted in reunion filming budgets were reportedly doubled. And producers allegedly held back certain footage to use at the reunion special for maximum impact. Some fans even claimed the slap was replayed 3 times in promos just to hook casual viewers who weren't even following the season. But not everyone was celebrating. Advocacy groups and concerned critics started pushing back, accusing VH1 of exploiting real domestic and marital issues for ratings. Think pieces popped up in the Shade Room's comment sections and online magazines debating, is Love and Hip Hop still entertainment? Or has it crossed into emotional abuse, exploitation? Meanwhile, the cast themselves started feeling the backlash. Jock was suddenly painted as a sympathetic figure, a man fighting for his marriage and betrayed by his so-called friend. But Kirk, he became the internet's punching bag all over again. Fans dragged his name, calling him Atlanta's most consistent cheater. Even people who had forgiven him for past scandals were done this time. Rasheeda, ironically, came out looking powerful. That slap turned her from long-suffering wife to fed-up queen, reclaiming her respect. Memes called her the Slap Queen of Atlanta. Some fans even argued she deserved her own spin-off after finally snapping on screen. And through it all, Kendra's silence remained the biggest storyline of them all. Was she hiding guilt, protecting her marriage, or just refusing to give the internet what it wanted? Either way, her reputation took a major hit. And VH1 execs allegedly noticed insiders, whispered her role in the next season could be on shaky ground unless she redeemed herself at the reunion. The industry couldn't ignore how much noise this storyline created. Reality TV analysts called it the revival of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Proof the show still had cultural dominance when the right mix of betrayal, loyalty, and spectacle collided. And the cast, they couldn't escape it. Every club appearance, every IG post, every public move was flooded with fans screaming Kendragate like it was gospel. So, let's be clear, the public didn't just react. They owned this storyline. They turned it into memes, hashtags, theories, blogs, live reactions. And a cultural storm so big, even people who hadn't watched Love and Hip Hop in years tuned back in. And VH1, they cashed every bit of that check. But if the public's reaction felt like the peak, oh no, the final twist flipped everything upside down one last time, dragging new names into the chaos, exposing deeper secrets, and leaving everyone wondering if season 13 might be the most damaging season in the show's history. Just when fans thought the Puerto Rico chaos, Rasheeda's slap, and the Kendragate hotel footage were enough to crown season 13 as the messiest season yet, producers pulled out one last card. And this wasn't just a card, it was a full deck of dynamite, because the final twist didn't just circle back to Kirk, Jock, Rasheeda, or Kendra. It dragged in a brand new name that nobody saw coming. And once their involvement came to light, the whole show flipped upside down. Word hit the blogs first. Whispers that Kendra wasn't the only woman caught up in Kirk's alleged extracurriculars. An anonymous source claiming to be close to production leaked that another cast member had been pulled into the mess, Ciara. Yep, Ciara Gates, businesswoman, boss, and fan favorite. Suddenly caught in the line of fire? Allegedly, Jock wasn't just mad about Kirk and Kendra. He'd been sitting on another piece of tea. Rumors that Ciara had been spotted with Kirk too. According to insiders, Jock confronted Kirk off camera weeks before Puerto Rico and told him straight up, "You keep crossing lines with people in the circle. You're gonna make enemies you can't fix." At first, fans thought it was too wild to be true. Ciara's always kept her brand sharp. Her business is booming. Her storyline more about growth than scandal. But then, boom, a blurry clip leaked online of Ciara and Kirk at an after-party. Too close, too cozy, too much for fans to ignore. The internet went insane. Was Ciara really the hidden player in this season's biggest scandal? Or was production setting her up for the next season's storyline? Either way, the fallout was nuclear. Jock reportedly went off during filming, telling producers, "This ain't no storyline. This is my life." His fury wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It was about being humiliated on national TV while his so-called friends played games with his marriage. But the twist didn't stop there. During a tense group scene filmed back in Atlanta, Yandy dropped her own bomb. Fed up with being painted as the villain, she revealed she had receipts of her own, not about Kirk, but about Kendra. Allegedly, Yandy had been holding on to text messages from another man entirely. Someone Kendra had been quietly talking to behind Jock's back. The room went silent. Jock's face dropped. Kendra exploded, screaming at Yandy, accusing her of fabricating lies. But Yandy stood firm, waving her phone, daring anyone to call her bluff. Fans watching the previews lost their minds. Was Kendra cheating too? Was this whole situation less about Kirk's betrayal and more about Kendra hiding her own dirt? Suddenly, the storyline wasn't just about Jock versus Kirk. It was about whether Jock and Kendra's marriage was built on lies from both sides. And just when you thought the cliffhanger couldn't get any darker, producers dropped the final blow, a reunion teaser that showed Jock storming off stage, Kirk yelling at producers to cut the cameras, Rasheeda in tears saying, "I can't do this anymore," and Kendra collapsing into her chair as the audience screamed. The screen went black with the words, "This changes everything." The blogs went wild. Fans wrote dissertations in comment sections. Theories flew. Maybe Sierra was the real side chick. Maybe Yandy's texts were faked. Maybe producers had set everyone up. Nobody knew the truth. But one thing was certain. Season 13 didn't just end on drama. It ended on a cliffhanger so explosive that people are calling it the franchise's rebirth. Even VH1 execs couldn't contain themselves. Insiders claimed reunion taping had to be paused 3 times because cast members refused to sit on stage together. Security was called. Producers allegedly teased that not 1, but 2 cast members might quit the show entirely after the fallout. And that's the cliffhanger fans are stuck with. Friendships destroyed, marriages on the brink, careers damaged, and new betrayals waiting to come to light. Season 13 wasn't just another messy chapter of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It was a reset, a demolition of everything we thought we knew about these cast members. And now the world is left waiting for one question: who survives Season 13's carnage? And who doesn't make it back for Season 14? And there you have it. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 didn't just shake the table. It flipped the entire thing, shattered it into pieces, and left us picking up the shards. From Rasheeda's explosive slap on live TV, to Jock and Kirk's Puerto Rico fallout, to Kendra's tears, Yandy's receipts, and Sierra's shocking entanglement. This season has rewritten the rules of reality TV. But here's the real question: whose side are you even on? Is Jock the betrayed husband who deserves all the smoke? Or is Kirk guilty as charged, once again dragging Rasheeda through public humiliation? Do you believe Kendra's denials? Or are Yandy's alleged receipts the final nail in her marriage? And what about Sierra? Was she really part of the secret drama? Or is she just collateral damage in production's messy masterpiece? One thing's for sure: nothing will ever be the same. The friendships, the alliances, the marriages, they've all been shattered, and when the reunion airs, it's going to be a war zone nobody will recover from now. I want to hear from you. Drop your wildest theories in the comments. Who do you think is telling the truth? And who's hiding the biggest lie? Do you think Season 14 will even have the same cast after this nuclear fallout? Or will we see a complete reset with brand new faces? Don't just watch the drama, be part of it. Smash that like button if you think Kirk's days of smooth talking are finally over. Hit subscribe if you're ready for more raw, unfiltered breakdowns of the biggest scandals rocking reality TV. And don't forget to ring the bell, because, trust me, the next chapter of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is coming sooner than you think, and you do not want to miss it. And you do not want to miss it.